off of Norris Drive. Why? Norris Drive was a good place back in the day. Norris Drive was the shit. The East Side was the shit. Where they got all that heroin out over there right now, that was one of the most prestigious parts of Delaware County. You went there at nighttime, it was beautiful. The Wawa was there, we was talking about that. You couldn't tell Prospect Park from fucking the East Side. Because it was prestigious.
So then what happened? So it was all three of us living on the block, right? There's Pierre, there's Kenny, and there's Nafati. One of us moved, so who moves in? Someone Pierre or Kenny don't know.
That's life.
Now it messes up. It messes up what you had going on. That's all right. Right now in Holy City, this is our issue on Holy City. Right now in Holy City, we have this issue. Everybody around there always was there, but they're getting older and they're moving. They're passing on, and their younger children are moving into the homes, or they're moving out and renting their homes out. So we are getting people we don't know that don't know the rules of the block. No matter what you tell them, where they came from is what's already instilled in them.
Absolutely.
So when they don't cut their grass on Saturday, every other Saturday like we do, we like that. Yo, you gotta get your grass cut. It's Saturday.
Maybe you need to just go speak to them. Maybe you have to have a neighborhood community. Maybe because if you're going to tell me that the right way to do... Is that not what I'm saying? But what I'm saying to you is, what you're saying right there sounds like a white person to me. How you think these white people feel when y'all move to Garnet Valley, Chichester, Westchester, Ridley Park? Tommy died. These black people just moved out this joint.
So whenever you move into a new community, I think the community should embrace upon you what's demanded or what's needed from you to be a part of that community, right? You move into Holy City, you understand that this is a community. Like, Holy City polices itself at the end of the day. There are people that have been in this neighborhood for eons, right? For years, right? So they're the higher ups of that community. Whoever they decide to say, listen, we cut our grass on Saturdays, we take our trash out, we clean the back hallways, we make sure the front of our house is clean, we do the streets on Saturday. If that's how you operate it, that's how it works. So when the person moves into the community, I understand what Kenny's saying. How you doing?
So
welcome to the community. This is the Holy City newspaper.
I'm not saying people don't do that no more. Right. I'm saying it's different than when they used to do it, though, right?
If I was able to finish, right. So no, hey yo, we cut our grass on Saturday, and they tell us no, the bull gonna come and do it on Tuesday, because they don't know. They're conditioned to where they come from. Right. So now their grass is still high for 3 more days. They don't know the trash go out on Monday, so they can get picked up on Tuesday. So you remind them twice, and guess what? They still don't do it because they're conditioned to what they came from. So it changes the morale of the community. So guess what? Now Pierre is moving out. Somebody new is moving in. Or Pierre is now renting his house out to someone else because he's moving out. Kenny is selling his house. So now guess what happened? Everybody with their conditions from their other areas. But
as a renter, if I'm renting a house to someone and I'm putting it in an area that I know of and I lived in before I rent, I'm gonna say this is what happens. Grass gets cut on Saturdays. We go outside, we clean up the house on Saturday. We're worried about our community. If you're not capable of following those rules, I need you not to rent from me. You need not to rent this house because this is a community.
But the mom is thinking, you ain't gonna tell me what to do in my house.
Well, then you won't rent the space.
It's
not your space. It's my house. I'm renting it to you. So if I say these are your obligations that you have to, yeah, absolutely. From the beginning, you moving in, you're renting this house. This is what happens on Saturdays. You go out and you clean up the neighborhood because this is a whole neighborhood situation. If I don't understand my neighborhood enough to tell you that that's what is happening, you agree to it, and it's in your fucking lease.
How about you just fed up?
Who?
How about you just fed up and you just moved out and rented to whoever?
No.
You just fed up. I'm fed up because I'm tired.
Then that's on me.
I'm tired of address 12 not complying with the rules and they having parties every night. I got to get out of here.
Well, you allow people. You allow people to have their parties.
You're saying it from a personal point of view.
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's where it is.
The reality point of view is when they fed up, they leave. When they tired of what keep moving in and out of the block and how they moving and the loud music and all this, they leave.
Why can't they just leave because people move in life?
Okay.
Why can't people die and new people move in? Because that's just what happens in life regularly.
You passed away. My father passed away. I took over his house.
Okay, but
I came from the rules of the block though.
That doesn't.
So that
hold on.
everybody else.
So that's
who
the only
owns
rules
around
that can
there,
be on the block.
I came. The other
She
people
came
that
from the
lived
rules of the
around
block.
there,
She said she came from the rules of the house.
Of the block, not
of the block.
my rules. It
Not
was
her
the rules. That
the
was
rules of
already
the
there.
neighborhood.
He only hears me to reply. He doesn't
No,
hear me.
listen. I'm repeating what she just said.
Right.
So don't say I only hear you to reply.
Right, go ahead.
I repeated what you just said. I come from the rules of the block. But does that make so that means it's wrong that if somebody else moves in and they don't know the rules of the block, that they should automatically confide to the rules of the block? That's not human. Like,
what's not human?
If I move right now next door to Pierre,
right,
and I don't know the rules of the block,
right,
and I just didn't confide to him right away,
right,
or like you just said, if my landlord didn't tell me, hey man, you got to do this, and this.
Right.
Does that mean I'm like what, some outgrade or some shit?
No, you're not. You're outgrade until somebody comes over there. You're outlier until somebody comes over there and brings you into the fold. Just moving into a house doesn't make you a part of a community, and that's the problem that we have. People move from different communities, and like Naf, as he is saying, people move from different communities with different thoughts, different processes. They were cutting grass on Tuesday in that community, or was nobody talking. Crack, and I tell you, crack separated us so hard because you don't trust your family, you don't trust the outside people, you don't trust the people that are knocking at your door, all because someone broke in your house one night and stole everything out of your house. So now you don't trust anybody.
What was the name of the thing that they used to have in communities? I know they had it in Chichester because it was like, what is it called? It's like a community. It's like a group that comes out every time a new person comes in.
The housewarming.
Yeah, it's like everybody comes and they bring you food.
Right, bring you food. How you doing? Yeah.
And we have neighborhood meetings together and this to that.
Right.
I don't see that anymore. Like that part has drugs have dried that out in black version of Chester.
It's not just drugs because drugs are gone. There are no more crackheads in the city of Chester.
We still do it on Holy City.
You definitely still do it in Holy City, right? And that's why I said Holy City is their own situation. They don't need no police to go up and down that block, right? Well, y'all police yourselves, and that's because there are people on that block that have been there the last 50 years. So we said people move out. They didn't move anywhere. They're able to give that to the next generation and the next generation, and you're making sure you give it to your next generation. Listen, we clean up out here. We mow the grass. We make sure we respect our neighbors. If there's an elderly lady across the street from you, I guarantee you send your kid over there, go over there, knock on the door, and check on her, make sure she don't need anything from the store. I'm going to the market. That's neighborly. That's the type of shit we should do. Not going over there and see if she dead so we can run through her house and steal all her shit. But there's a couple people on the other block that's looking like that. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to share energy again, bro. It's important. I think the concept of community for most of our neighborhoods is falling to the wayside. Most neighborhoods do not have community meetings to even uphold norms. Elders are not as respected and upheld in communities. Children that are cutting up can't be, and I know she said can't be checked without it being an issue.
They don't have community watch. They don't have none of that. I can't.
Block captains. I want that. I want block captains.
Welcoming committees is what I was talking about, though.
Right.
Like your neighbor, everybody's neighbor had like a welcoming committee. You came there, at least one person brought you a damn pie or some soul food or something.
So we end up losing, man. The things that we held dear, we didn't uphold. The things that my grandma cleaned the front of her house every Saturday, early in the morning, 6 o'clock. She woke me up. I ain't gotta go to school. Grandma, get the fuck up and go out here and help me clean.
Mr. Kurt walks around our block every night with his little grabber, his little pincher, and a trash bag, and cleans up every night from Holy City all the way up to by Dollar General. Every night Mr. Kurt does this. It's a ritual for him.
And that's the security guard for Widener.
From Widener. Right. When he don't do it, Gerald, Jermaine, Daz, they get out there. The city don't cut our parks. We cut our own parks. They get out there, they cut the grass from one end of the block to the next. If your grass, just like when the people at 32 moved in, their grass wasn't being cut when everybody else's was, so they started cutting it. Shout out to Junior Peterson. He was responsible for their number. God rest his soul. He was cutting their grass. But we get out there as a whole. When new people move in and you tell them the rules, people got tired and they started to move out. Mr. New fell out his bed from the boy next door acting up and said he couldn't take it no more. I'm too old. I gotta go. So he sold his house. When you're tired of what keeps coming and the people that are here are allowing it to stay, you leave. Kenny, and then you don't care what comes in.
Let's say you run into somebody, right? You say, yo, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? How you feeling? And what's the first thing somebody says? They say, when I see you and we never haven't seen each other in a long time. What's up, bro? How you feeling, man? What's going on with you? Chilling. I'm staying out the way. Staying out the way. I think that's and that's acceptable. I had somebody tell me the other day, I said, nah, nigga, you need to get in the way. You need to be a speed bump. You need to be in the way. I don't care who you're in the way of, but you need to be in the way, because if you're not in the way, the children don't see the way. You know what I'm saying? So you can't.
I don't think when people say staying out the way, they mean it in that way, though.
They do. They mean it. I'm staying out of the way. I'm not trying to get involved with nobody's situation.
I think everybody's interpretation is staying out the way.
All right, so what's your interpretation of staying out the way?
My interpretation of staying out the way is I'm not hustling anymore. I'm not out robbing niggas or being on the corner. But my interpretations of staying out the way doesn't mean I'm not a full member of my community.
Right.
I'm a full member of my community every day. Everybody I know around me is a full member of their community.
So we understand how things can have multiple meanings.
Yeah, I feel like that one has like multiple meanings.
Right, but it shouldn't.
Like if I ask you what,
if I don't understand what it is,
if I ask you what you're doing and you say I'm staying out the way, that means Pierre isn't hustling no more. Pierre isn't in the mix of all the hustlers. Cool, but that doesn't mean Pierre isn't helping with the community things he needs to help with. Right. You dig what I'm saying? Right, even when it comes into interactions with
I'm staying out
people
of jail.
that can hurt you.
Right.
You feel me? It's just I just feel like it's just like staying out the way just mean.
But for the people that mean staying out the way is actually,
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Actually means staying out of the way and not being involved in your community. Get in the way, bro. It's important. It doesn't have to be here. It doesn't have to be anywhere, right? Get in the way. Stay in the way. You feel me? Because the kids are watching, and they understand that a lot of men aren't stepping up. And this is what I'm saying. Like when Nav says women are the most
oppressed,
the most unprotected species on this planet. And I agree with her.
I said black women.
Black women are the most unprotected species.
Disrespected. You name it, whatever gets done to others, we get it 10 times worse.
Why is that?
Because nobody protects us. Nobody looks out for us, not even a black man.
Why doesn't anybody protect you?
I have no idea.
Let's run into this video. We're going to talk about this video real quick. There's a video Kenny sent to me. And it has to do a lot with strong, independent black women. And
so that means don't protect us?
Well, if you're independent, you don't need anybody. That's what independence means. You don't need anybody.
It might not need nobody, but don't mean I don't want somebody. But go ahead. Play the video.
You can't be independent if you want or need somebody.
Address me as a strong, independent black woman. It's not a compliment. I never hear a man that is raising children alone say, I'm mom and dad. He never becomes overly feminine because he's raising children. But we as women become overly masculine because we are raising children, because I'm mom and dad and I got to do all these things, right? And now I put extra stuff on me and then I say, ain't nobody helping me. Well, nobody told you to do that. There is help available, all because I was trying to overcompensate for what daddy wasn't doing. I didn't have to be mom and dad. Now they got Mr. Chris and Mr. Eric over here. And I took them to be a part of different organizations because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime a man says, oh, I love it, you're so strong. I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. So when I'm around men, my wrist.
CMPradio.net. When you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. Name something strong in the community that we don't come to the aid of, or that we do come to the aid of. What strong thing do you go to the aid of? You're not running to the aid of, I don't know, something strong. I don't know, but.
The black woman. You asked. The black woman. I'm just saying.
I want to say I don't.
I got what she was saying in her message. I did. But at the same time, if you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice.
Who said you don't have a choice?
There is help. Some women don't have a choice.
And
it's
some
only
women,
them and their children.
Well, some women don't want to reach out to ask for help. How does someone know?
Help?
Whoever's around. We had this conversation last week. We were talking about KD. We were talking about the men of the community, right? That stood up. She basically named the people, right? I took my son over here to Mr. Eric and Mr. Chris. right? And they help my kids, right, to get me. But my son only sees me as far as taking care of him, not understanding that he learned how to be a man by watching him. He learned how to play basketball by watching him. I don't play basketball. I don't star in anything. You feel me? My son, who is tall and doing all this shit, he needs a man to show him how to play basketball. He needs a man to show him how to be aggressive. I can't show him how to be aggressive as far as a man is concerned. Then we get these highly emotional men raised by women that are out here doing all this shooting today. You step on my sneakers, I'm shooting you. You talking to my girl, I'm shooting you. You disrespect me, I'm shooting you.
What if they was raised by men and they still highly emotional?
I don't know. Name a man who's highly emotional and raised by a man. There it is. I'm just saying. You said, what if? Name a man who's highly emotional. The question.
You don't know if they only raised by women?
9 times out of 10 they are.
Oh, so I know that ones that came from 2-parent households.
Right.
I would never name them.
Okay, dad was probably at work and really wasn't worried about.
Mom was at work.
So who raised him?
Dad was able to come home at a reasonable hour.
So dad was raising him, 100%.
And he still was what he was.
Well, dad was probably raised by his mom, so he was highly emotional.
So it's just going past the buck. It ain't. It's not what you just said.
I mean, that's what you do when you don't understand. You try to get to the root of it.
Is he emotional because? Is he highly emotional because he was raised by the woman when he had his mom and his dad home?
If his dad was raised by his mom,
because the mom's job was more time consuming. Okay. So and he still became exactly what you said. Just because little shooters, right?
Just because you have a dick and balls doesn't make you a man.
Now his dad must have been raised by his mom. So what if he had the 2-parent home? So that's how he felt where he wanted to raise his kids in a 2-parent home.
I'm an emotional man, right? And I understand that, right? And my dad made me understand moderation. Anything that you abuse and you take advantage of and you use for too long will become your detriment, period, point blank. Mm-hmm. If you say you're strong and you're powerful, then prove it to me. If you say you can do this, then prove it to me. Don't say I'm strong and I'm independent, I don't need nobody. But then on the other side say, you don't protect me, you're not there for me.
I think
you just said you were strong.
Sometimes with a man in the balance,
I said it to you.
A man in the balance of you ever heard what a man says to his son? Because a man already knows, a real man knows that his son has emotions.
Right.
No human doesn't have emotions. So what a man would tell his son that a mom won't tell him is, it's okay to cry sometimes.
Boy.
He pulls him to the side. He tells him not to. In public, he may chastise him for crying. Yo, buck up, you a boy. But alone, a dad will tell his son, yo, it's all right, let it out. He'll hug him. You ever seen a dad like when the mom died or the grandmom died and he had to console his son? He pulls him to the side somewhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He holds him in that bosom like, it's cool, nigga. Like, it's all right. It's a different version of the way that it's done between a woman and a man. Not saying that a woman is doing it wrong. Not saying that a man and a woman can do it wrong. I'm saying that it just rolls off different types of ways. You feel me? Sometimes us as men, I know I can argue with you around our family. I would never argue with you with a stranger. Does that make sense? Whereas though maybe a woman would maybe be more openly to want to argue in front of strangers.
And I think that is so wrong. I do. I think that any woman who decides to take whatever's happening inside the household outside, I always was one of those people. I'm not going to argue with you out in these streets. Like in my relationship, I'm not arguing with you out in these streets. You want to talk about this when we get home? Because it's going to turn bad if we do it out here. It's different. When we home, it's amongst us too. One of us has to walk away and calm down to come back more rational. Outside, you got other people. You hear what he said. You hear what she said to him. Oh my God! It's all the oohs and the ahs and the background.
You got a sister or a brother that just don't like the situation and ready to swing. The worst thing I ever did was argue with my brother in the street.
It hurt my feelings so bad arguing with him in the street. And I know it hurt him too. And then you know what happened? I cornered him in the bathroom and tried to break his ribs. I did. I fought him in the bathroom because we should have never gotten to the point where we couldn't have a conversation when we are all we got. And we don't argue outside. If we argue, slam the door shut, and we argue, you can still hear us because we loud. But it still was inside. It was so many people that was just watching us and judging us as siblings that I had to go sit down like, how do I fix it? But we both so stubborn, it can't be fixed.
I think, but where you were sitting, like, it's hard to explain certain things. Here you go. Hold that stand. Hold the mic stand so it don't fall. No, hold the mic stand so it don't fall. Not fatigue. Hold it. Keep your hands on it. In your head, you like, why am I holding the mic stand? It's strong. It ain't broke.
Right.
Sometimes when a woman is saying I'm independent, I'm strong by myself, I say, okay, what do I need to?
What am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to? You want me to do what then?
So I'm independent, I'm strong by myself, but you see my weaknesses because you're my brother.
Nah,
you see my weaknesses because you're my brother. We're not talking about the outside world or the community. You got brothers that don't protect their sisters.
Stop. Let's hold on. I just want you to say. Let's divide back and forth off of what you just said. So, as a brother, right? When you say I'm a strong, independent woman, I'm a catcher on this one. She say I'm a strong, independent woman, Kenny, but you see my weaknesses because you my brother. So as a brother, you know what a brother says to a woman that I know is a strong, independent woman that still needs a man? Ask her what I tried to do all weekend with her. What? Hook her up with a man. Me and her other brother. She hated, but we had a whole conversation in the restaurant about her talking to a man. About this certain man. Like, damn, this man got some qualities, blah, 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 blah. So I'm saying, even as a strong, independent woman, your close family members, as a man, I'm supposed to lead you to a man. I'm supposed to take you to the qualities of a man, of a man that I see as being a man.
Right, but that's still not going to stop me from being strong and independent because he's not a part of my.
Then you're not independent. I can't say I'm an independent man and I need somebody. Does that make sense?
It's not a need, it's a want. I don't need a man in my house.
It's still a want is a want.
I want a man who can come in. First and foremost, if you can't come in and be a man from the rip, you're going to lose with a strong woman like myself. You got to be able to tell me without telling me to shut the fuck up.
Hold on.
You got to be
I can't be a man from the rip, right? No one can be anything from the rip. There's training in everything you go in. So you want to go play basketball? It's training classes. You want to go to a new job? It's training classes.
You want to own a business? It's training classes.
So the moment you get with a woman,
right?
You yes and her and no. Yes, no. Okay.
No, I have to. Stacey has to have dialogue.
Stacey said it was a good man too.
Oh, Stacey, what is wrong with Stacey?
That's an FOI in her.
No, she just wanted. No, she is what if the man gave that.
No, the man had qualities.
It was good. It was good.
We'll talk on that subject another time. But somebody had qualities that we said this is a. The qualities that she's seen because her guards are up so high.
Right.
She's seen. He's too attentive. He's doing this. He's doing that. The qualities that everybody else seen was that he had business qualities. He had leadership qualities. He had persistent qualities.
I think that should be scary. Not for Naf. I'm not pinpointing you. I'm just saying for women that are strong, independent, to be and Ms. Finney said it, to be vulnerable.
It was to be vulnerable. It was why they showed up. It was what happened prior to they showing up. I don't think we should stay on this topic because
they might be watching this show.
It was the before everybody found out it was a good person.
Now, can you say that you are the type of woman that seems vulnerable or wants a man? Like you say, you don't need a man, you want a man.
Outside to do that.
Right. So, like you said, your defenses are up. I say it's more defenses. You got your fence, you got your wall, you got your moat, you got.
Because of what we've already been through.
But there's so many things that a man has to do to prove to you that he's for you. By the time he gets to you, guess what? He's tired.
He's for me.
So how's he gonna be a man?
You can't come in and be like, how can I say it? You can't please me. Like you can't come and please. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, please, can I?
You can't have manners, huh?
It's not about manners. It's like, it's almost a form of begging. No, you don't. No. You can ask respectfully with assertiveness.
How?
So
because some quality of men grew up with please and yes and sir and ma'am. And let me open up the door and let me do that.
Manners into this. I'm not saying like manner. I'm not saying as far as having mannerism. What I'm saying is, what's for dinner? Go ahead, name that. What's for dinner? What you want? You can't come to me and say, hey, you cooking dinner today? And you brought the food. What's for dinner? Okay, well, I took out chicken and I took out this for you or whatever. Because I know now that you want a meal when you come home. You can't come, hey, what's for dinner? You just fucking fully stocked the refrigerator. You're giving me the option to cook?
He bought the food.
He brought the food.
You cook.
No, you cook.
Can you reword this so that I can understand this better? Because I'm lost
here. So if you brought the food. You brought me a red shirt. Hey, are you gonna wear that red shirt tomorrow? Because that's what you brought it for. Instead, just say, wear that red shirt tomorrow because it means we're going somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Stop right here once again then.
It's hard for me to make you understand how I'm saying.
I got what you're saying here. You're saying, so if I buy the red shirt for tomorrow, right? Today, and I give you the red shirt, instead of me asking you, are you going to wear the red shirt tomorrow? You want me to say, stop. You want me to say,
when were you wearing?
You don't want me to say none of that. You just want me to say, yo, put that red shirt on tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, because
now just earlier you told me that you didn't want to be. Now that's a form of super submission right there.
No, it's not.
Let me finish. Let me just finish this one little phrase here, because you just told me you didn't want a man that's dictating what you to do.
Now
you might not want to wear a red shirt tomorrow. Tomorrow might not be the day for you to wear red. So yes, as a man, I'm gonna ask you, hey, you gonna wear that red shirt tomorrow? What day you want to wear that red shirt?
No,
so I can dress up like you.
Hey, Bea, let me know how to tell a woman to shut the fuck up respectfully. Like, let me know how you tell a woman to shut the fuck up.
You can't look at her. My father could look at us and tell us to shut the fuck up.
That's your father.
Hold on.
That's your dad.
His wife, he could look at her and tell her to shut the fuck up.
His wife. You know what level you had to get to get to wife?
You just fucking asked.
But to get to the wife part, he had to talk. They had to have dialogue.
Bro,
I had to have a training course.
Said, how do you tell a woman to shut the fuck up respectfully?
Who could he tell your mother to shut the fuck up respectfully?
Looked at her.
Looked at her?
That's it.
What did that look mean?
When it meant shut the fuck up.
Why did it mean that?
Because that's what it meant. Because she was
So you're saying that no time ever in your life, in your mother's life, did she ever transgress against your dad and get taught what that look meant? That look had to mean something. It's like with the first time you trained.
No.
Okay, not your mother, another girl. Pick another woman that you say. Like, it's the same shit. That look has to mean something.
It was an understanding.
It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen on that first date.
So you ain't never gave me a look like.
I'm just
saying, and I knew not to say nothing else.
You always say what you want to say.
Y'all, see, having a
after years, you understand me. You understand
saying I got this.
Telling
them by saying I got this. It's something come with a look. Right. I got you. If you can show a person that you got them after you say it, that means a lot. Y'all want it to be so. Y'all want me to be wrong about how to be an independent woman so bad.
See, I hate when you do that. Why would I want you to be wrong? Why would I want you to be wrong?
This is why
ain't no hate in my blood to make you for me to want you to be wrong. I want you to be a successful black woman. I want every black woman in my community to be successful and black, not to be. Oh yeah. Man, I want her to fail.
No, that's not what
somebody to fail.
How did you get that out of what I just said?
I want you not to be. Come on, dog.
How did you get that?
I'm asking you. You just said that your mom knew when to be quiet when your dad made a face, right? Didn't she have to learn that?
And no,
or she just knew it from the very first night on a date with him?
My dad did not come in with where you were allowed to speak if a man was talking and he was being disrespectful to you. You don't gotta defend yourself. He came in leading the pack. He didn't come in trying to test the waters and see. He let you know from the rip he was a man. I'm a man. You're not going to do anything less than I am a man. You're not going to treat me like I'm a fucking woman or a kid. I'm a man.
Pierre, you in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
You ever got smacked by your girl before? You ever got hit by her?
Yeah.
In order for you to know what not to say to her now, didn't that have the first one had to happen, right? Mm-hmm. So now you know what you can't. It has to be. Listen, it has to be a training course sometime in there. It has to be some type of dialogue, some breaking moment.
Well, y'all should have some of the
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't just. When you first got hit by her, right? You didn't know that you was going to get hit by her, so henceforth the hit happened.
Right.
Now you know, right now, here in this present day, I better not say this to my girl the wrong way because she hit me in public.
I still don't learn my lesson. I still say shit and piss her off.
I'm not saying it for that part. I'm saying that for me to know, for a woman to know to shut the fuck up when I give her a look, she been around me long enough to know that this certain look that I give her is a shut the fuck up look.
How about she was just taught that from the household she came from?
Well, see, everybody's not.
How about she was the minute,
not taught that.
All right, so how about she just knows that from the household she came from?
Everybody's
not taught that. How about she honestly do know her place?
Can we say that everybody doesn't?
Hold on. How about she do know her place, but the man don't know his? He come in tiptoeing. How about he come in asking, are you going to cook dinner tonight? When he just went to the market, so he knows food in the house. And then she tell him, well, you can cook whatever you want.
And then I get up and I cook whatever I want, and I don't cook for you.
So now, guess what? She's too independent for me.
Nah.
She's this for me. She don't do this. She don't follow. Gender roles are not being asserted here. So if I asked you, the roles went, he provided the food, you prepared the meal.
Period, right? That's what you said. So if I provide the food, then fucking cook. I shouldn't have to ask you what we cooking.
As a man, you shouldn't have to ask.
Let's use hypothetical examples.
I'm sorry, Dante.
Listen, a man shouldn't have to ask.
See, Dante gonna get in trouble for that.
A misunderstood man, one that don't know if he the leader of the house or not, will ask.
So I go against you on that.
Are you cooking today?
I think communication is key.
Today?
But I do know this, right? I do know that if I work a bunch of hours a day, and I know that my wife works a bunch of hours a day, right? Then yes, I would prefer to come home and ask her, are you cooking tonight or am I cooking tonight?
Right.
That ain't me showing weakness, because any nigga say something to her, I'm gonna put a bullet in him. But for the beauty of me loving her and loving how strong she works, I might just ask her, baby, do you want me to cook?
So are you
in the mood to cook tonight?
Woman or the woman that's already in a relationship? Which one are we talking about?
Which one are you
talking about? Are we talking about?
All right, so let's talk about the independent woman. Because if you're independent, that means you work all day, right? That means I've been working too, and we're just starting to get together. So we have to have a communication level, right?
Or are we talking about if we just getting together, you're not putting groceries in my house,
right?
From the rip. So if we just getting together and I'm independent,
so. If you're independent, you're right. I'm not putting groceries in your house.
So if we have been here for some time, this is why men don't run their houses. This is why women are so much stronger. This is why things happen, because you asked me, am I gonna cook instead of what am I cooking? It's just a different set of words, and it's kind of sort of mean the same thing.
It's a different set of words that kind of means the same thing. So if it's a different set of words that kind of means the same thing, it's the same fucking thing. You can't say it kind of means the same thing. If I ask you, if I come in the house and I say, now, what you cooking tonight? Oh, baby, I'm cooking. Simple as that. I'm cooking chicken, I'm cooking steak. What you want? That's the answer.
What you cooking tonight?
What you cooking tonight? That's the answer.
So you came in the house and said, are you cooking tonight?
No, I'm asking you, what you cooking tonight?
What the fuck did I just say?
No, you
didn't I just say that?
Why would I ask you, are you cooking?
That's what oh my God, what the fuck y'all don't listen to me to understand or hear what I'm saying. I just said it's a way you ask. You're asking what I'm cooking tonight or are you cooking tonight?
I don't know
if
anybody
you came in the house and said, what are you cooking tonight? I'll say, baby, I took out X, Y, and Z. If you came in the house and said, are you cooking tonight? I'll look at you and say no.
So my thing is, I have never ever asked a female, are you cooking
They
tonight?
don't speak the same language.
If you're already in the house and I know I already went to the market, you are definitely cooking. So I'm asking you, what are you cooking
If I walk in the house and the food's not done, then maybe my consideration side says she might have had a rough day. Because why wasn't the food done by the time I got here? If you're the one cooking, and me being a cook, I might feel like she wanted me to cook tonight. Because if I'm dealing with an independent woman that's been working all day too, I have to put up the effort to say that both of us have had. I can't just say, "Oh, I'm a man. I had the harder day."
I was raised in the old school. I was raised old school. I wasn't raised even if because I worked, I shouldn't cook. I wasn't raised like that. I was raised, you worked, you still gonna cook because that's your gender role. Me, personally, I'm not talking about no Keishas or Larishas and none of them. Me, personally, was raised. My grandmother washed clothes for others. She sold dinners on Sundays to people. She did her part of the house, and she still cooked dinner for her family on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Guaranteed you was getting a meal those days. Saturday morning, she did breakfast. Monday had leftovers from Sunday. Friday, it was a fend for your own. You might have had a little pizza, little chicken nuggets, something that was in the refrigerator though. It wasn't no ordering out and it's being delivered to your house at that time. Gender roles said he went out and worked and brought the money home for the food to be provided. You cooked it. It wasn't no questions of are you cooking? It may have been a question of what are you cooking, because I might have had a different suggestion. It wasn't no he understood because she had a long day. She done ran behind these kids all day. She done did this, she done did that. It was his dinner should be still done by the time he got home and on a glass plate. But that's how I was raised.
So I
can't speak for everybody else.
We have folks, Ms. Finney said folks don't be speaking the same language. And then Dante, well, Bear said men don't run their houses because they don't own them.
True.
Majority of this population, if we're talking about Chester, majority of this population don't own their houses. Most of the people here are renting.
I think when he says own, he means
that
she
doesn't
lived
make
there
him less
first.
than a man because he doesn't
I know.
own
I
the
think
property.
I think he means she lived there first. Not
so,
own as in.
So that means he's moving in with her.
He's moving in with her.
Okay, all right, understood.
And I agree with
That's
Dante.
All
it all comes down to communication.
That's it. So, like I said, I'm not going to ask you.
Each house is ran different.
Are you cooking if I'm buying the food?
True.
That's not a word that's going to. If you're buying the food, you bring the bags in, then I'll. Are you cooking tonight? You feel me? Like then I might. But if I'm out, I'm spending my money on the food.
It's still giving. I'm not leaving my house. Are you cooking tonight? You hesitated.
I don't have no problem with cooking on the weekends.
And if you want to give her off for the night,
right?
As Kenny said, he's being thoughtful gracious of her time.
Right.
That she may have worked. Listen, baby, you don't gotta cook tonight. I'm gonna take you to dinner, or I'm gonna cook for you.
I got you.
Not considering it's nothing cooked on the stove that she had a long day.
Leading a house sometimes has to deal with teamwork.
It does.
Just because you want a fake title of a man leading or something like that. I've seen a lot of house. I seen something that my dad used to do. He worked all the time. He got up at 5. He didn't come back in the house till 12. And guess what? He didn't give my mom his whole check, but he always made sure she had this stash of money for the bills. Right. My dad never had to pay the bills at my mom's house.
Right.
My mom took care of all the bills. Right. She already had the money to take care of it.
Right.
Now, did that make him less of a man because he did that? No. I seen him lead the whole family.
That's how it goes.
I seen him lead multiple different families. But guess what he would do? I know he did this personally. He would say, do you feel like cooking? If not, I run a restaurant. I'll bring home the food.
Right.
This is what we did. This is what he did. You know, hey, y'all come down to the restaurant. Can he make everybody some platters? They gonna take them home. Mom had a rough day. Did that make him less of a man than me? Nah. He knew what everybody's role was different. Everybody's house is different. I had an uncle who was sick at one point in time, and he was the toughest nigga I knew. He couldn't do anything except for hand over his Social Security check to pay the bills. Right. But when you went in his house, when all the family went there for our family functions, we knew he was the toughest cat in the world, but he was injured. He was hurt. Right. It didn't make him less of a man, kind of, sort of, because he had to rely on his wife to make all the moves. Right. He was still the king to us. This is my uncle. He was a king.
They don't listen. They just don't listen. Nobody.
I'm saying I'm not. This isn't going against what you said. I'm simply saying that there's different scenarios for different households. That had nothing to do with what you were talking about. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about. I'm saying that different scenarios. Do you understand what I'm saying right there?
I understand both of y'all.
That's not going against you.
The money came home.
That's not going against what you're saying.
Who provided the money to pay the bills?
That's not going against what you're saying. I'm just saying that there's different situations per household.
You keep saying less of a man. Who provided the money?
I said it doesn't make them less of a man.
But who provided the money?
The man.
Who went to work to make the money?
The man.
Just because she paid the bills don't mean she paid the bills. The money came from him. So guess what he was? The head of his fucking household. Right. He would never be looked at as less of a man because she was standing in the line with his money to pay the fucking bill. Plain and simple as that. I got what you were saying about the different scenarios, but you keep saying less of a man and nobody never used that term here. If you don't know how to run your house, if you're asking her if she's going to do something, it's because she runs the house. In today's society, right now, today, are you going to cook or what are you cooking means two different things. It means two different things. Coming from a man, it means two different things.
I'm not asking. Are you going to cook? I'm not asking. I know this is what I said.
What you cooking? You can call her in general conversation.
Friday and Saturday, I don't have no problem with cooking. I'll give you those 2 days off. You understand what I'm saying? Sunday, what you make on Sunday night can last. So that was the thing, right? That was the thing. When I was coming up, my grandma, she spoiled me into believing I didn't do leftovers. So when anybody ever asked me, do I eat leftovers? Like, nah, I ain't never had to eat leftovers ever in my life. You feel me? Like literally. Like my grandma fed that many people.
Oh, so it wasn't.
You feel me? So it wasn't that many leftovers. You understand what I'm saying? But if it was something she could cut up like turkey or something like that, it was always leftovers. But anyway, so I never really ate leftovers. When I was married, me and Angela, we never really ate leftovers. You feel me? She made enough food for that night, and the next night she made the next meal. You know, so growing up now, it's like I don't eat leftovers. But if you make something on Sunday and it's big enough, you make spaghetti, I'll eat that on Monday. Shit, if there's anything left on Tuesday, I'll eat that too. You understand what I'm saying? There's no need of you fixing something new to have shit just stockpiled in the refrigerator that nobody's ever gonna fucking eat. So I have no problem with eating leftovers now that I understand that I have no problem with eating leftovers. I eat it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, however. So I don't have no problem with cooking on Friday and Saturday. Shit, we can get pizza on Friday, or we can get cheesesteaks on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Or shit, I'll make the cheesesteaks on Friday night. Saturday, we can do chicken fingers and sandwiches. Nothing major, nothing has to be done. But when we get back into the work week and all that other shit, dinner has to be prepared. So I will never ask you, are you cooking? I always assume that you don't have a problem with cooking.
So y'all two are in agreement that saying the words "are you cooking" makes you not the leader of the household.
You're asking.
You're asking.
I'm not saying it doesn't make you the leader of the household.
It's not that.
Asking does what? Say that again.
Asking gives.
He ain't even listening to me. You keep directing it towards you, so I'm gonna keep on talking to you.
Nah, when I talk to you, you don't listen to nothing I say. So I don't. Yeah, I'm not talking to you.
I feel like asking.
You've been doing it the whole show.
Gives the person that you're asking power, right? Because they can deny it. They can say yes or no.
Yeah, because sometimes I want to walk in and ask. I want to ask a question. If I walk in broad in the middle of the fucking day, hey, are you cooking?
Right.
Hey, you cooking something today?
Nah, I'm just saying, as a man, if you come in and ask me, I'm gonna tell you, no, I ain't cooking. You cook.
All right, and once again, so here we go. What if the guy is the chef of the house? What if the man is the breadwinner and the cook at the house?
Then he's cooking.
So is he still not allowed to ask? Does that mean he's not in control of his house?
If he's the breadwinner and the cook of the house, he's cooking. He comes in and he cooks.
So it's okay for him to ask then, right?
No,
sometimes he's not allowed to come in and say, hey,
he shouldn't have
you
to ask.
Cook today?
She should be asking him. If he's the breadwinner and the cook of the house, if he's always cooking, she should be asking him.
I'm just asking to know these terms of how these things should.
Right.
But I just believe in that each household is different. I've seen so many households. As a matter of fact, not so many households. Every household I walked into has been different. Yeah, there's no two households that are the same. I don't care how your parents raised you, how much they raised you and your brother next to each other, your brother and your sister, and all 5 of your sisters, and 20 of your sisters, and 20 of your brothers. When all them little niggas go away and be in their own house, each household be the same. This one nigga junkie, this one nigga super clean, this one nigga Christian, this one nigga Muslim. So I don't. My personal opinion is asking a question when you walk in a house don't determine if you lead the house. It just meant you asked the fucking question. It was just a fucking question.
So the superintendent hit me back. He said, sounds good. I'm meeting with parents of KUSA and STEM on Wednesday evening. I would like to meet a few days after that while the conversation is still fresh.
You know that superintendent tell everybody yes? Everybody. He tells everybody, yes, I can do it. Yes, I'll get it done.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
I'll meet you. Yes, we can talk. Yes. He's the yes man.
He's the yes man?
Mm-hmm.
So
he's trying to appease everybody.
So are you?
And it's going to be a bad job.
Are you going to do the interview with me or no?
Sure.
Okay. I don't want no shit.
See, then I ain't doing it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to have shit everywhere you go, Nav. You don't have to leave.
It happens everywhere you go. Shit happens everywhere you go.
It does happen.
Mm-hmm. There's a bathroom in every building you
just
go.
Just because I tell you I don't want no shit don't mean I really don't want no shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
I just have to say that. CMPRadio.net. This has been the morning meeting, man. It's 12:25, man. It's almost 1 o'clock. I want to thank Kenny and Nah for stopping through, right, and shooting the shit. Listen, when we argue up here, man, I want y'all to understand we family, bro, and that's what we do. We argue. We say things. I want y'all to stop taking everything so personal, though.
Kenny ain't been listening to me since I got here. It was.
It was what?
I never listened to her. Go look at every show. What the fuck are you talking about? That's how the show works.
Partition down.
It's a partition?
Partition down.
Go back 5 years from now, you were still saying the same shit.
It's the same shit.
What you talking about?
But we love you now. Right? You don't feel that love from us?
She wants us to be her yes man, like the politicians.
Oh, my God. That's not what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
That's what he does, too. He does that well.
She wants to be our yes man.
CMPRadio.net, man. This is the morning meeting, man. You'll catch us live again Friday, 10 o'clock, 10:30, somewhere between.
Tell us what y'all got going on.
Yeah. I think
Let us know, Oh, shout out to Status. They had a great event yesterday. Shout out to them. Whatever they had going on yesterday, it was definitely lit.
Yeah?
Yeah. Don't y'all got something coming up?
Who?
He ain't listening to me.
No?
I guess he'll tell me.
I'm trying to think of what I have going on. That's why she said, don't we have something coming up? And I'm trying to think of what it was. But, if I don't answer fast enough, then
all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, all hell. Just pop the fucking cork. So what's going on?
What's 600?
I think every Sunday Status and them do the brunch party.
What's 600 Avenue of the States? Whose building is that?
That's mine.
That's yours?
That's a gallery.
So you doing...
Oh, Miss Crystal has pop-up shops every Wednesday. Right. I was trying to think like that. Every Wednesday they got the flea market pop-up shops.
And you're doing
at 600 Avenue of the States.
Christmas.
Oh no! December first Fridays on the Avenue. Right. That's something that's coming up. If I need to have a list right now.
Yeah, you need to have a list.
I do have a list right there. Do you want to see how my list is like? There it is. But I got to put it all in this notebook. See, so I just. I'm in Facebook jail, so it's kind of hard to remember because I don't be looking at flyers and reading all this other shit.
That's what happened.
But definitely Wednesday they having a pop-up shop. Fridays, the first Friday of December, they're doing First Fridays on the Ave. They're looking for vendors and stuff like that for that day. I think they doing New Year's Eve on the Ave.
It's hard.
They doing the ball drop.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're doing the ball drop.
I'd like to be a part of that.
They actually rented the thing. They're doing like a ball drop.
They rented the thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard that conversation. I don't know what else is going on.
Who's Patricia?
I don't know. We said partition.
Partition?
You want your glasses back?
Partition? That's Patrician.
I said we said partition.
Oh, he can't spell?
You wanted me to be wrong too.
Yeah. Dante's spell checks is usually...
He put it up there. He been put that up there. That been sitting there.
Oh, I don't know. That's PAT. Anyway, December 2nd, First Friday, Avenue of the States. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go, man. Let's come out, man. Let's bring good energy. Let's bring positive attitudes. You feel me? And a willingness to change. It's CMPRadio.net. It's the morning meeting. Queen Knopf in the building. Kenny the Art Monster. Uncle P. We'll catch y'all next Friday. You already know. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I
feel like in those things you should always announce Dante's name. Ignafati, Kenny the Art Monster, me Pierre, and Dante Hollis.
And Dante Hollis. All the way from Tampa. All the way from Tampa, man. That's my guy. Literally, Dante has been a major supporter of the radio station since before we was even in the city, man. I was at Philly, and he was following me and supporting. So, again, you already know. Welcome back. The instrumental version, man. Hopefully, Kenny can hurry up and get this sung. You get the song sung for the music. And we'll be out here. CMPRadio.net, man. Catch y'all later.